Hi, my name's Jonny Garrett. I'm the founder of YouTube's Craft Beer channel, and I'm a journalist working across the beer sector for titles such as Good Beer Hunting and national newspapers and magazines. I'm going to be taking on the big issues for CAMRA's Learn and Discover website, and today I'm talking all about why cask is back in decline and what you, as a drinker, can do to help. So if you're on this website and you're watching this video, I probably don't need to describe to you the joys of cask ale, its unique history, how important it is to British culture, how at its best it's the freshest and most delicious way to enjoy beer, and how it's the lifeblood of the British pub industry. But I still might need to tell you that it's in serious decline. Because outside of the wonderful cask-focused pubs that you and I probably drink in, cask is becoming a little bit of a rarity, and if that continues, where are the new drinkers that the sector so desperately needs going to come from? Where are they going to discover the joys of great real ale? So with everything that cask ale has going for it, it is a bit of a mystery as to why it's still in decline. And the main reason, sadly, is price. You may notice that cask ale is significantly cheaper than keg beer at the bar. In fact, studies have found nationally that it's about 20% cheaper. And there's no practical reason why that should be the case. In fact, it should be more expensive. It's difficult to make, it's difficult to store, it's difficult to pour, and it has a much shorter shelf life than most keg beers. There are many factors that have caused the price of cask ale to stagnate. A bit of a perfect storm, in fact. It starts with the structural issues that I talked about in my Tide Pubs video and about access to market for all these different brewers. There's too many of them competing for not many taps on the bar. On top of that, Small Brewers Relief, which gives microbreweries a 50% cut in their alcohol duty, was designed to give businesses a better profit margin. But in reality, they were forced to drop their pricing, eating up that profit margin by being made to compete with each other by wholesalers and pub companies. Finally, we have the issue of demand. Despite the lower price point, cask ale is failing to attract new drinkers, and the reasons for this are myriad, but it's probably fair to say that it has a reputation for being for older drinkers, and the fact that its short shelf life means that as sales fall, the quality of what's left in the barrel actually declines. And this means that those who do try it for the first time are very likely to get a substandard pint. This has, sadly, been worsened by the fact that many pubs don't care for beer as well as they should. They let it sit in warm cellars, they either vent it for too long or for not long enough, and then it's left on the bar to go off because nobody's drinking it. So how do we as drinkers fix these issues and ensure that cask ale has the bright, beautiful future that it deserves? Thankfully, there's lots we can do, and to learn how we can have an impact on the tie and on Small Brewers Relief, check out my other videos on those topics. But these are systemic issues, they'll take time to fix, and there's plenty we can do in the short term to make sure that we increase the demand and the care for good cask ale. The first thing we can do happily is drink more cask. Every pub we go to asks for samples, and if it's tasting good, buy it, drink it, and encourage your friends to do the same. Because the joy of cask ale is that the more we drink of it, the better quality the rest of it will become. At the same time, we need to be more discerning in what we drink. If a pump clip is sexist or derogatory in any way, just don't buy it, because that will encourage brewers to market themselves more responsibly and be more aware of the diversity and the younger people that we want to get into the sector. And if the beer doesn't taste great, we should, in the nicest possible way, tell the people behind the bar. You know, tell them if it's slightly warm, if it's slightly acidic or a little cardboardy. And on the flip side, champion the people that absolutely do it right. Go to them more frequently, tell your friends about them, and encourage others to do the same. And if the beer doesn't taste great, you've got to let the publican know in the nicest possible way, because that's how they'll learn and that's how they'll know to fix things. So if the beer's served a little bit warm, if it's gone a little bit acidic, or if it's a little bit cardboardy and oxidized, let them know so they can take it off from sale and so they can go and fix the issue. On the flip side, of course, if somebody really cares for their beer and it's tasting beautiful, then go to that pub more often, tell your friends about it, and encourage your friends to try the cask ales before they try the keg beers. It's also really important to pay the right price for cask, because profit margins are being squeezed so hard for the brewers making it, and a lot of them are starting to abandon the sector altogether. So never complain if a cask beer is slightly more expensive in one pub than in another, because it probably means that both that pub and the brewer is getting a fair price and a better margin for it. It also might be worth forsaking your camera discount. You have every right to use it, but it's adding pressure at a really important time in cask ale, and those brewers and those pubs could really do with that additional profit. Finally, it's also really important to tip well. One of the big reasons that cask ale isn't looked after properly is staff turnover, which means that many of the staff aren't properly trained and often they're very poorly paid. So if you can tip well and make sure that these people are enjoying their jobs and being paid for the amazing work that they do, then it's more likely that they'll have people really caring for the drinks. So please respect the amazing hospitality staff that we have in this country, particularly when they really care for the drinks that they're serving. So I hope that's highlighted some of the issues that cask ale faces and also some of the things that we can do to help improve it. If you want to learn about the pub tie, which definitely feeds into this topic, as well as Small Brewers Relief, which I mentioned earlier, then you can watch those videos on the Camera Learn and Discover website.